So we have always delivered the leadership development programs and executive coaching one-on-one, face-to-face, or in cohorts face-to-face. And we had been moving slowly in the direction of having sort of a multimodality online learning, virtual learning, instructor-led learning, etc., but hadn't fully committed. And so when COVID-19 hit, it became clear that we needed to accelerate that process and go after it in a much more intentional way. And it actually solved for a tremendous number of problems that we were experiencing. So, for example, companies are comfortable flying executives all over for leadership development training. They don't want to invest that kind of money at the more frontline leadership level. And our programs are all cohort-based and are designed to be facilitated over a series of workshops, not sort of a all-in-one 2-day kind of program. And they don't like flying frontline leaders around for that kind of a program. It's not financially viable. So for us to create these programs that are multimodality, that have instructor-led training, that have e-learning, that have a portal for the cohort to be communicating and collaborating, is cost effective for them and super high quality content. So we quickly created those or modified our content to a different deliverable modality, and the market went wild. So it's been fun.
And do you find that your business in terms of the industries that you're working with has changed, or are you pretty committed to a couple industries?
No, we're across all industries. It's expanded, if nothing else. Again, because we are able to work more readily with frontline leaders with huge dispersed populations all over the world. So the industries never really matter. Leadership development is leadership development, and we are able to customize it and tailor it to be appropriate for that company and that industry, regardless.
And do you find that you're working more with men versus women, or an equal balance?
It depends on the level. So just as you would imagine, the higher up the organizational ladder one goes, the bulk of the people we're working with are male.
Interesting. And do you ever work with individuals who are trying to transition from one position to another position or pivot completely in their careers?
Well, yeah, it's interesting. I started my career as a career counselor and helping people through transition, typically when they're leaving the organization. But in this particular company, we aren't working in the outplacement industry, but we do a lot of helping people as they're assimilating into a new role from one position to the next, and lots of high potentials. Companies are investing in leaders. They see it as a true differentiator, as a way to attract the best of the best. There still is a war on talent, even now, and companies understand the critical nature of developing those leaders.
Well, us gals need you, so I hope that you're going to be doing more work with women in the future, and that they find you.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you, before we start talking about the hacks, which are critically important, I wanted to just touch base on your advice for other organizations that are trying to offer, excellent services, but there's budget restrictions. And I know that your organization has actually been pretty innovative and very community-based and has done a lot of really wonderful kind of pro bono type work. I was wondering if you could talk about that a little bit.
It's our favorite thing to do. We are, whether it's coaching on call during the beginning of the pandemic, giving away coaching just to any leader who needed the support, or our Praxis program, which is helping find those students, BIPOC students, who are coming up through the university system that need paid internships so that they can enter into the workplace and become part of the leadership pipeline. We are not keeping score. We don't have an agenda. We're just going into the community as much as possible and using the talents that we have to help our community, right? Medtronic gave away ventilator specs so people could copy their ventilators when we needed ventilators, and companies were making masks. We don't have those skills. Our skills are on developing leaders, and so we want to make sure that we're giving that away as much as possible. And it's coming back to us tenfold, both in actual paid business, but more importantly, just in how it makes us feel about the work we're doing in our mission.
That's fabulous. And what about the Stevie Award? How did that come about?
That was all from my team. The team is very proud of the work we're doing. They're proud that we're a women-owned business, and they are out applying for these different awards all over the place. And so the Stevie Award, they applied. We actually won 2, and they recognized the work we were doing in leadership development. They recognized the great work we were doing for the community. And also, in our first year and a half in business, 3 of the leaders on the team gave birth to babies. So in the middle of the pandemic, in the middle of trying to grow, in the middle of my own father's passing, we had 3 women out, 3 senior women on the team out having beautiful babies. And it was important to us. So, look, everybody knows women are paid, 80 cents on the dollar or something compared to men. Then they go out and they have children because somebody has to. And the disability system pays them, I think it's 60% or something of the 80% that they're already making. So the impact, the financial impact of having a child is insane.
Right.
The mortgage companies don't say, "Oh gosh, you're out on maternity leave. We'll drop your mortgage payments, 70% or something." So we bridge their salaries while they're out. We hold their jobs, of course, while they're out, which is a small company that's not legally mandated. But not only is it the right thing to do, it's good business.
Yeah.
This is top talent, and I want to retain and attract top talent. I don't want to lose these women, and I want them to know they're safe. They're in a psychologically safe place. Their careers are safe. They're financially safe, and we're killing it.
You're leading by example as well, which is phenomenal. I can't believe we're almost out of time. So I'm going to quickly jump to something that you've already chatted with me about privately. So I'm going to jump right in, which is you've mastered one of the best hacks of all, which is customer acquisition. And a conversation you and I had, which was, I thought, really kind of blew me away. The fact that you really don't have to spend any money to acquire customers, because you are working on a referral relationship with HR divisions within companies, and they bring your clients to you.
Correct.
That's like every founder's dream.
So these HR professionals are the unsung heroes. They always have the company's best interests in mind. They're always looking for great solutions. And as long as I communicate with them, support them, add service and add value to their lives, they've got the clients. They each have, 800 internal customers that they're trying to support and find solutions for every day. They understand our differentiators. They understand the value we bring. And so they're calling and saying, "Hey, Marissa, I need help with X or Y or Z." And Jillian and I and the rest of the team surround them, support them, provide them with what they need. And then when the applause comes, we're very happy to step back and let them take the bows, because they are the ones who are doing the heavy lifting.
That's very smart. Well, Marissa, we are out of time, sadly. I wish we could do another part 2, but we'll have to have you back for part 2. So thank you so much for being on Startup Hacks today. Yes, your suggestions were great, and the work that you're doing in the leadership area is just phenomenal. So if any of our listeners would like to reach out to you or learn more about your company, do you have a website that you'd like to share?
Sure. We are leaderology.com, and it's spelled just like it sounds, Leaderology. And we'd love to meet and talk to anybody.
Great. Thank you.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you again. And let's tune in next week for more startup hacks. We have another great show that you won't want to miss on the secret female founder strategies that will save you time and money when building your business. Thank you. This podcast is brought to you by We Global Studios, the first startup innovation studio and digital do-it-yourself startup platform for women entrepreneurs around the world. For more information on our guests, this podcast, and many other female founder programs, please visit weglobalstudios.com. I'm your host, Fernanda Carapina, and we will see you next week.